Welcome to Coombe and Curry Sports Cards podcast, where collecting meets the game. This is a public service announcement. So, Coombe and Curry podcast update for you. We tried to do a live one from Fanatics, and it absolutely fell on its arse. From everything from the Wi-Fi in there, you can only get 10 minutes, which surprises me because obviously you've got people doing breaks and whatever. So I don't know if that's something they need to look at, but either way, yeah, not great. So 10 minutes Wi-Fi. So we started recording, and then the next thing was that these mics, the one I'm wearing now, was clearly not connected to the dongle or the Bluetooth dongle that's in the bottom of my iPhone. So, or mine was connected and Coombe's wasn't. Either way, it's a technical shit show, should we say? Because the signal. So once the Wi-Fi dropped out, the signal dropped out. No 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever. And essentially, we recorded for 21 minutes, I think it was, and came away with next to nothing. What we do have video footage of us breaking the Liverpool boxes that we went to buy there. So there will be some content in regards to that. I pulled my first ever auto from a box, or from a pack from a box. Sorry. So yeah, keep your eyes up for that, because that was a milestone for me, and a really great moment, and quite a lot of adrenaline in there. I was buzzing after that. I pulled. I'm going to show you now because I've got it with me. Pulled numbered 44 out of 250. This is Vladimir Smicer, Liverpool legend, Czech legend, scored in the 2005 Champions League final, and was super happy with pulling that and that player. Another couple of good hits from the boxes were Trent, numbered 250, a Ben Doak gold drip, numbered 250. And then Coombe pulled a Bobby Clark auto, which he obviously wasn't too pleased with, because the player's actually left the club now, and yeah, he was taking from something a bit more of a bigger hit, should we say. The reason I'm telling you all this now is we tried to do that in the Fanatics store. That went down like a lead balloon. So we got nothing from there for the pod. Really disappointed with it, but obviously we're learning. We're clearly learning that we're not very tech savvy, as any of the listeners from Day Dot will know. But we have now. So after that, we regrouped. We went to Fiddler's Elbow the other night, Tuesday night, to meet up with Dom Lott. How's your luck? And there's a little snug at the back of the pub. So we jumped in there, and we recorded the pod. And shock horror, another live episode, technical issues left, right, and centre. So I'll hold my hands up. That was all via me, I guess. But I'm learning. So essentially, what's happened is I've recorded something on Riverside. My phone's then, or the signal dropped out, so the recording stopped. Then recorded it via just a camera on my phone, and then it said storage was full again, which I bought some, so I'm not sure what happened there. So another one to add to the list of ever-growing technical issues. But then the third video. So we had 3 different videos recorded. The third one was on Dom's phone, and essentially video 1 and 3, the one at the beginning, the one at the end, the sound was terrible. So either the mics that I've got weren't linked up to the Bluetooth dongle on the phones, or the dongle itself. Either way, categorically cannot use that to make a podcast. So this is welcome to episode 24, third time lucky. So what we missed was the first 7 minutes that we recorded. We're just talking about Fanatics, so what I've just covered there. And just whilst I'm on that subject, so after Coombs' disappointing pull from the box, we went back and bought an LFC team set from 24-25. So the latest one that's out, the tops one. Couple decent pulls. Gerald Quanta, number 7-99. Doing really well at Leverkusen. And also, I'm quite happy. We could do with him now, to be honest. We do have a buyback clause in his contract, so who knows if he'll return to the club at any point. But the big one was an absolute legend, Liverpool legend, none other than Mark Lawrenson. So that's that Crown Paints kit. I've got the away one. It's like a 1987-88 kit, numbered 120 to 250. So not only did I get my first auto, I got my second one as well. So really good day. We then went off to Kaboom up in North London, sort of new startup independent store. Didn't pick up much. I think Coombe didn't pick up anything, but I did pick up this Packers Jordan Love Prism hype card. Just a nice design. I think it was a £5. So yeah, overall really fun day. Really good to spend some time with Coombe, obviously being over here from New Zealand. So yeah, super happy that we got that to share those moments. And he got his 1 of 1, which if you've seen the socials, you will see he's actually autographed it. So he's got an on-card auto 1 of 1 of himself. Incredible. And he's obviously buzzing about that. We've also got, we did a picture together. So I've got my card and he's got his card. So they are 1 of 1s technically, but I guess you would, maybe they sit in the 1 or 2 bracket, I don't know. Anyway, back to business. So essentially the middle recording we did at the Fiddler's Elbow Pub, shout out to them, was around half an hour, just over half an hour. So I'm going to then edit this and cut this in. So you're now going to listen to us talking from that section there, which I think we go on to talking about clubs and situations and results. And then towards the end of the video, Coombe and Dom get into their beef, and it cuts out like halfway through their conversations, which was a really good debate. So it might be a bonus episode at some point, but yeah, you'll have to wait and see. But look, listen. Thanks for patience with the podcast. I know it's been a bit of a long time coming. This episode 24. Maybe it's our unlucky number, but a really good conversation coming up. So yeah, keep listening, and I hope you enjoy. Slight technical issue there, but we are back. Podcast Fenders, we overcome. It wouldn't be the same podcast. It would not be, would it? But yeah, Fanatics overall, yeah, fantastic. But we lots of content to still come from that. Plenty on Instagram and TikTok already with it. And you can find the Tops Advent calendar on TikTok as well, which I'm opening, which I'm slightly behind on, but that'll come in time. We'll move on to club performances. Let's go with. Should we go for American football first? Yeah, let's do that, shall we? Yeah. Because Green Bay had a hell of a result. Beating the Bears 28-21. Watched the highlights yesterday, and yeah, incredible. The Bears were obviously favourites, and Packers came out top trumps, won by a touchdown. Jordan Love on fire. I think it was like over 200 yard passes. Yeah, it was a really good game, and that puts Packers top of the North. I had Watson in my team too. Watson got 2 touchdowns. Yep. So buzzing for Dr. Watson. So yeah, huge result for Green Bay. Yeah. And yeah, that's going to push them in the right direction. But let's go to Seahawks. How do they get on? I don't actually know. So
Seahawks were playing Falcons. They were 6-6 at half time. Boring. They came out second half and won 37-6. An absolute rout. What was good for me is JSN week 13 last week had very, very few receiving yards. He might have had 28 yards or something. No touchdowns. So it's good to see him Yes, please, Dom. That'll be. Yeah, that rugby. Yeah. I'll have an inches, please. Yeah, no, it's good to see, especially with the performance from week 13 as well, all round. Got the win. Good, it's a good win, but I think I mentioned it on the last pod. I found it quite boring. Yeah. Nice victory, all the same. But yeah, like nice to see someone who, let's be honest, have a breakout year, going for records left, right, and centre. To had a little bit. Oh, would I say a wobble? Probably not, because it was more of a running game. But to see, just seeing back to how he's been from the games before was amazing, and the touchdowns and his ability to get separation is unbelievable. Yeah, so enjoyed watching that second half. But I think some of them games, I think I mentioned it before. I think what's been hard for me in the fantasy this year is that they've had. I'm trying to get with the lingo here, but they've had a couple of blowout victories where they just smashed the opposition. So that fourth quarter, like there was no Sam Darnold, and I had him in my fantasy. Scored good points. I won my week, so I've secured a playoff spot. Nice. So I certainly won't be complaining that much. But yeah, we saw Drew Lock for the fourth quarter. A lot more running. I think we might have seen JSN for one snap in that fourth quarter. But the most important thing is the win. So Seahawks now 10-3, 4 games to go. So it's a race for that number 1 seed in the playoffs. Big season. But yeah, chuffed to bits. Next game, Colts at Lumenfield, and I feel sorry for the guy. But Daniel Jones out for the season. I think it's Achilles. Good for the Seahawks. Because I think we got I think we're ranked 4th hardest running now. Colts. Then I think Rams at home. Massive game. But yeah, no Daniel Jones. Big for the Seahawks. That
huge. Yeah, how exciting the American football season is proper ramping up. So happy days. It was good to see. Is it Caleb Williams, Bears quarterback? He was. I don't know. I know that of him, but to watch him in action, he's very much. How can I put this? He's very much like almost like I don't know if it's the right term, but like a running quarterback. Really comes out of the pocket. Modern, like a modern quarterback who really come out of the pocket and he'll run. And he ran loads in it. So it'd be interesting to see how many yards he done that. But he done an unbelievable about, I don't know, it was like 15 yards right into the corner. And I thought that's unbelievable. But yeah, Green Bay came out on top. So Green Bay win, Seahawks win. Happy days. And I picked up a Jordan Love card from Kaboom Cards in North London. So we were hype, wasn't it? Hype from Prison, wasn't it? So yeah, fantastic pickup from Kaboom. So we went from the Fanatics store to Kaboom in Finchley Park. So it's good to go and see an independent card show, an independent card business. 2 minutes from Finchley Park Station. But yeah, happy days in the American football world. Moving into the soccer world, if you will. You can.
Interesting bit of footage there. Dom, how's your luck, Dom? Getting declined on the round of drinks there. Very interesting bit of footage there for the pod.
Anyone wants to say they didn't see my pin?
Yeah, exactly. We're just trying to remain cool while we're talking. I'm like, oh, he's been declined.
Matey boy staring at the camera. Matey boy from the bars staring at the camera, but hey, we move. Let's move on to soccer. I guess we'll go to West Ham first, shall we? Interesting game on Sunday against Brighton, Don. How did you feel?
It's good to see Jared Bowen back on the score sheet after nearly 8 weeks. A hell of a goal. It was like a dog shit. But I mean, good goal.
No one there, was there?
Callum Wilson's been blowing his own trumpet about his assist when Van Hecken misheaded the ball and he ran on and passed it. And it's like 52 seconds in. It's like, yep, well done. That's £9,000. But definitely, handball. How Rutter's goal has stood is beyond me. But yeah, nonsense. But I mean, 1-1 draw Man United, 1-1 draw Brighton. There's hope. I don't know. Old Trafford, I don't know
Do
actually.
you
It
want
might
me to explain how Rutter's goal stood?
Yeah, I do know how it stood. From a refereeing point of view, I know how it stood. But had the goal not stood, if there wasn't a shot on target and a goal, then it would have been a free kick, surely. Well, the reason the goal stood is because obviously he handballed it and shot. And if it had gone in, it would have been a handball. But because it ricocheted, nice guy, and then he scored, it was a goal. But at some point, it's still just a handball. So it should have been like, right, well, now we go back to the handball and play on.
Because even though it was like accidental, you can't get.
By the way, for me, he's that's a handball. But yeah, we'll hear from the ref expert over
here. Even though, so they basically deemed, obviously, if it leads directly to goal, goes straight into goal, regardless of whether it's accidental or whatever, that would be ruled out. So that's why it would have been ruled out. But they've deemed it hand in a natural position. And because it didn't lead directly to the goal, and luckily for Rutter, goes to the whoever was out on the byline, and then it comes back in, then he finishes it. Obviously, that's why it's not a goal. So whether or not you disagree with that, I mean, it's a lot of nonsense, but that is the law of the game. So I get it. Say again?
What about the overhead kick?
Yeah,
6 foot 4 foot in there.
Yeah. Well, that's a different subject. I'd give you that. Yeah. No. To be fair, that's they could look at that and give that. Like some would. It's a bit. From that point of view, yeah. But from the handball, unfortunately, that's the right decision.
Would you have given it?
The kit. I'd have to have a look at that again. Yeah.
A VAR job. Without VAR in New Zealand women's football, would you have given it?
I don't ref in women's football. I coach in women's football. How dare you? I don't know. I'll do the equivalent of going look over there and run away. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. It was pretty high. Yeah, I think. Let's change subject.
So I'll take the a 1-1 win, a 1-1 draw against Brighton. I will take in the midst of all these Brighton fans, but being as
there wasn't many Brighton fans there, though, was there?
Well, none of them were born Brighton fans. They were born Liverpool fans and converted when it got convenient. When they got to the Shamex, it all kicked off. But I will, as the only non-Liverpool fan here, put to you the rat bag that is Mohamed Salah. Like, can we discuss this on the basis of 4 times in 8 years he's gone to the fans' arena, and the journalist who actually it was been recorded looking at him and saying, "Oh no," when he walked in, knowing something was about to happen, is probably going to lose his job. Who works for Liverpool, and on the basis of he's played poorly. What would Trent Alexander look like as a right back if he ever had tracked back in his career once and supported him like every other team does? And I get why he doesn't, because he is Mo Salah and he's been amazing, but you can't trade on your past efforts. Otherwise, Gaza would be getting free Fosters everywhere he went.
Probably all in agreement, to be fair.
Yeah, to be honest, like it came as a bit of a shock. Like you said, Dom. Like he's only been in the media zone like 4 times in 8 years, whatever it is. Like it's ridiculous that at a time that the club's in a difficult situation, he's come out and said that the club's thrown him under the bus. I think that's a massive disrespect. Like he's not been thrown under the bus. If you're not playing well in any sport, irrelevant of whether like you're a legend or not, you will drop down the pecking order. And because there's so much talent at Liverpool and so many players, Vert's got dropped because he wasn't playing well. And he didn't moan about it. Salah's been a legend, and I love him, but like I think he's really spoke out of turn. He's made some pretty wild accusations saying he's been thrown under the bus, but I just think the timing's incorrect. He just didn't even say anything really, because he's going to the AFCON anyway as well. I don't know why he came out, and I don't know if it's his agent pushing him, going right. Either try and say that, and that might get the slot getting sacked and a new manager coming in, or it's him just going, or it's an ego thing. I don't know, but either way, it's terrible timing. It's very out of character, and I just think it's not going to really help.
Is it out of character?
Well, 4 times in 8 years, like it's not a lot of.
He's got a bit of a track record.
Yeah, I guess so. So I don't know. I do agree with Carragher. I listened to Carragher this morning from last night's football. And I do agree with everything he said. And the club does come first. Club comes first. So yeah, that's my views. Keane, what do you think?
I think, firstly, obviously he's a club legend, isn't he? He's done well. But what I think the thing that's pissed me off, and probably most fans, is the bit where he said specifically that he feels like he's done enough, or he's got the credit to basically be always starting. But everyone here is a football fan, and we know that it doesn't matter what a legend you are. And I think that there's this weird angle that people who are trying to then, you know, when he says he's throwing the club under the bus, what he's done is all the haters and the football banter are all coming at Liverpool now. And it's funny to say, "Oh, you're treating a legend in this way," but I feel like they're just baiting you up. But what he's done is he's allowed that to happen, hasn't he? And you cannot. It doesn't matter how well you've played. It always comes to an end. Football always goes on. It's a cycle. The club's bigger than the player, and everyone knows. And I think Van Dijk's come out. Look, Van Dijk's been poor. Konaté's been poor. I've heard some fans say that, well, why was Konaté not dropped? Because he's been a shambles. But he's not dropped because there's no one else. Leone's injured. Gomez is, and he's been covering for Frimpong, who's been non-existent. Bradley, who's been injured. So there's no one really to replace Konaté. Otherwise, he would have been. He's been terrible. He cost us in the Leeds game with the penalty. Oh, it's a bit harsh, but it was deflected off him for the second goal. But Salah's been poor. And it doesn't matter what you've done. You've got to separate the two. So you'll be known as a legend, or you would have been known as a legend. But now he's starting to diminish his own legacy. Yeah. But I think the most ignorant thing there is to come out and say that it doesn't matter who you support. If even if Bowen came out and said that, what are you talking about? You never earn enough credit to keep playing. You've got enough credit to be a legend, even if you never regain your form. But to come out and say that's disrespectful to the club or any club. Yeah, and we all know that whoever you support, your club's bigger than any player and your greatest legend. I think I would just let him go. Let him do what he wants to do.
I think this is going to backfire like Quentin Tarantino going after Paul Dano, and the world will go in support of Liverpool because the legends they're saying Liverpool, no team's bigger, no players bigger than any club, which is how Alex Ferguson built his team with the Upstam, David Beckham, etc. Roy Keane,
yeah. I don't know if you. There was like a Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, and they said, yeah. So Alex back in the day, yeah, them sort of characters, Yapstam, Beckham, they were outspoken. They got moved on because they disrespected the club, and they were outspoken. And he was like, no one's bigger than the club. So
question the lineup. Yeah, Roy Keane. I think there's a story goes that he went on one of the like Man U TV. I can't remember what he said now. He criticised the lineup or something. Next day, Ferguson, like, I'm kind of long story short, was like, you're done, basically. Yeah, no messing around. And, like, I think if you think of Man U legends, Roy Keane's a legend. So that goes to show. And it's funny because you've had, I read today, just before I came out, Patrice Evra, absolute prick. I've got to tick the box now. Explicit content. But he's come out and said that it's a disgrace how Liverpool treat a legend. And that Man U would never do it. Look at Roy Keane. Look at Beckham. Legends. Roy Keane went on a show. Bang, he's out. Doesn't even like Alex Ferguson now, does he? He can't stand him. So that's a load. It's just, and this is what I was saying when I was talking about like Salah's opened up people to then come in and bait Liverpool fans up, and that's all they're going to do. Patrice Evra's just baiting Liverpool up because Man U are absolutely shite. So this is an opportunity now for them to just, plug away and stuff like that. Yeah, and Carragher's right on this, but I mean, I'm not a fan of Carragher. He talks a lot of nonsense.
Spits at children.
Yeah, spits at children. Gary Neville, wasn't he at the Dubai Grand Prix the other day after all the nonsense he spoke about the Qatar World Cup? It's just the place is full of hypocritical fucking whatever word you want to insert there. But yeah, not impressed really, and I think if I was at the Brighton game at the weekend, I would clap him. say well done. Now fuck off. That's my heart. That's my harsh. And that's, he's a legend. He'll always be a legend. And linking this, look, we've had a lot of talk now about the sport, but linking this to cards, I've got a Salah PC. That won't change. He's a legend. That's how much I love him. I want some nice Salah cards. But yeah, like after that, see you later. Go to Saudi. We'll get a Lise from Bayern, and we'll be back in the game. Well, I'll take him all day.
Yeah, well, Jared Bowen, yeah, we'll take him as well. But yeah, it's just such a shame. Yeah, I don't know. It's just baffling how he's not. I saw like a Liverpool fan talk about it. If someone had done that at work, like a normal person, they'd be sacked. They come out and said that, like they came out and what they'd be like in a massive investigation. Yeah, but like I don't know why. If he feels that way and he's been on the bench, even though he's got poor form, go to the manager, have a chat in the office. Like back in the day, that's what would have happened. But here we are. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll slowly move on to a nice
Just check we're still recording.
Nice segue into fight night. So tonight was packed as a fight night between Coombe and Lot. The fans are queuing up in the pub. We've got a massive crowd outside. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. Yeah, all the best. So there's been a long dispute between these two about.
I'm not sure what the dispute is.
Well, Coombe's saying he doesn't know what a dispute is. He knows exactly what a dispute is. He's claimed that Dom hasn't got any direction of his collecting, and that he's retracted, I think, before and got back for it. So let's open the debate. Let's open the debate. No, let's open the debate. Let's the guests come first. Manners to the guests on. So you can open the debate, Dom.
Why don't I set the groundwork?
No. You won't set the groundwork. Dom will set the groundwork because he's a guest.
Here's a shovel. Bury yourself.
All right. Firstly, what I'd like to say is I like to say that I'm not 100% sure what the beef is, but however, I did semi-retract my statement when we had this before, and maybe, like I said, I keep saying this, but I don't know, similar to living vicariously someone else. Maybe I had insecurities with my collecting. I get that. However, you did recently say, Dom, when I spoke to you that, I'm not collecting tops, I'm not collecting match attacks. You said, I can't remember what you said. I'll relate it to you. But you were saying there's lots of shit cards out there. Yeah. Behind your back. You did say that there's lots of shit cards out there. And all I was saying was that, for me, you've got, like I collect in JSN, I've got some little directions that I go into and stuff like that. There's a lot of West Ham cards out there. And one thing I was going to say is, on Insta, I would say that I follow, with soccer, football, you get like Liverpool accounts, Arsenal accounts. There's a lot of Arsenal, but there's a lot of West Ham accounts. I followed one yesterday. There's so many nice West Ham cards. And I didn't tag you in any, but I was going to tell you on the pod today that there is a lot of West Ham accounts out there with some nice cards. I would like to see you buying some more singles, but you said on the pod that you don't like buying singles, and that's what I can't get my head around. Over to you.
I don't know where to start. I'll start at the beginning, which is to say that for me to lack direction would be for me to not follow my own direction as opposed to following your direction. So for my direction, which I'm sure we'll bring up again next week when you're safely back in New Zealand and I'm nowhere near you. But every time we're in person, it tends to be the ricochet of, no, I retract it all completely. But as soon as I'm not there and he wants to get the big dog back on the pod for round 4, he's trying to lure me in. But the hat-trick ball tonight, yeah. First, Nick's done 3. That's what a hat-trick is, yeah, I believe, yeah. but he's trying to distract me already. But my direction is to collect West Ham cards as they're pulled from packets. I went into the whole select thing, and as we discussed off air, the match worn patches aren't in fact even linked to a player; they're just kits. So my interest in previous things and the lack of players that have played for my club that have actually stuck it out, which we discussed at length while Coombe didn't show up for the last one I was on. So if he got there on time, he might have had that conversation with me as well. But, no, try at all. Yeah, no, amitriptyline or something. But had he been there for that when I discussed the fact that I don't want a vast Mark Noble collection, so the only way I want to collect cards is to collect current cards. That would be my direction. But question, please.
Right, so as we know, I've got you, which I'm a bit pissed off about. MC, you didn't bring the Bowen card down. What you could say is, why did you give it to me? But no, yeah, but I've been excited to give you that card because it's a nice card. I've put the Kuma Curry stickers on it. Are you telling me that doesn't do it for you as a card because it's not been pulled from a break? And be honest.
I know I like it, but my point is, if I get a card from a break, yeah, more than likely I'm going to pay more than I would get the value of the card, but I don't want to pay the value of the card. Hence why I've put in ridiculous bids for cards on eBay. I don't want to pay what they're worth. I want to get a deal. The what is it, Project 22? Ooh, yeah. I've been looking at the Declan Rice card for ages, and it comes up for 20 quid and 30 quid and 40 quid. I wouldn't think anything of spending 60 quid at the bar, but I do not want to pay more than it's worth. So yeah, I was looking forward to getting my hands on the Bone card. I will add that the second that you went on to the last pod recording, I got a text saying, I'll give it to Curry, meaning I won't bother seeing you while you're over. So hence why it's not here today, because he's already stuck in second class delivery.
Valid points, but
absolutely.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get my head around, and this is why I'm saying I don't know what the beef is, because it's probably more of a misunderstanding. So if you get, let's exaggerate, right? So you get your Bowen Project 22 for £1. Right, let's exaggerate. So the card's arrived in the post, right? When you look at that card, what do you think? Do you look at the card and go, yeah, this is really nice, I really like this? Or is the biggest driving force for you being involved in the hobby is that what you're getting on a break or how cheap you can get it? So once you've got the card for £1 in this exaggerated scenario, does that wear off by the time you get it? That's the impression I'm getting.
It doesn't wear off, no. I think the thing is for me and my wife, as we all know, she loves a break as well. Yes, she does. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It's the game of seeing what comes out. That's what I get a real kick out of, and I'm not inclined to kind of go back through. As I mentioned before, I like looking at them for a bit. I just give them away. Because I don't.
Beneficiary.
Yeah. I don't have. But a lot of it is shit, like the match attacks cards. They're absolute trash, in my opinion. But no, I don't know. But I know that you are a collector in the most obscene sense I've known. You've got how many jackets? 272, something like that. Yeah. So like, he just loves stuff, whereas I love cleanliness and order. So my West Ham cards live in and will always be there, and I will love them, and I will never get rid of them. And as soon as we move out, I will frame them and stick them in my son's bedroom to force the little fucker to support West Ham. But no, I would never get rid of them. But it's just that sense of once I parted with the money, I'd never think about what I spent, which is I think is a problem you might have as well.
Yeah, I think actually, funny enough, I think I said this before. For me, it was like a rush, and it's totally different. So taking this to a serious tone. Yeah, like I was rushing to get a really good established collection, and I think it's interesting actually. Let's say you was a multi-millionaire and you buy every card you want. I feel like for me, it would yeah, exactly. It'd be like it would take so I 100% get the thrill of the chase and stuff like that. But what's interesting is I've seen some stories recently where like people would sell, or this guy sold, let's say, I think it was near on his whole collection to get this one almost grail card and stuff like that. And I think one day I'll probably head in that direction. So I think a lot of it's like players you like at the time, and then it's the current. Like I've got this Arroyo. This is a funny thing actually because I never intended it, and then I've got loads of RPAs and stuff like that. And I think, it's actually quite funny just to keep getting RPAs. So it's a massive collection. The odds of him staying at Seahawks a long time are quite slim. So eventually it won't mean as much other than the fact I did it for a funny reason. But somewhere down the line, I'd probably be that guy that swaps everything for some huge, just a massive, massive card. But
if you could get like a Smith and Jigma signed pound.
Well, funny you say that. I got. I mentioned top place. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully, she won't listen to this. Although she does know about it. Probably doesn't know about the price though. But I got a message. I mentioned top place sports cards in Lower Hutt. Guy messages me the other day. Sends me a picture of a Seahawks mini helmet with an autograph on it. Straight away, I'm like, that's JSN's autograph. I message him back. I'm thinking, surely he's not doing this to wind me up. So if I message back, he's got it. He's not going to go, oh, yeah, I've sold it. That'll be out of order if you're listening, Shane. But yeah, I straight away, he said, yeah, he's got it in $300. We got a leak.
Fans are coming in for it.
I know, yeah. But yeah, $300. So he's saving that for me. So I promised him that as soon as I'm back, I'll go and buy it. So I have got the JSN mini helmet. Yeah, but I actually think. Yeah. Well, no. Luckily, this one's local. But I actually think that my collection will one day boil down to just JSN cards. But yeah, I think what's been wrongly branded as beef by our host here, I don't believe I've got.
Sorry, pass the bucket.
No, well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, but it's not beef. It's just a misunderstanding. Love me. All I wanted is clarity because I was getting the impression. Yeah, but no. But I had the impression. Yeah. I just wanted to know for sure: are you collecting because you like West Ham cards, or because what is it, or was it the fact that you loved the breaks? And I get that. I just wanted to know: are you also in the game for? Hold on. Was it just about the break? Amazing! What a buzz! Like when I got my Colour Blast Milrow, you cannot beat that feeling. But also, is there a side for you where you have? I mean, I can't think of a West Ham legend. Paolo Di Canio, Julian Dix. Yeah. Do you want those cards in your collection in the way that I want a JSN or whatever? And you're right, Dom. You are right. I apologise. It shouldn't be about. I can if you want, yeah. But it shouldn't be about. I expect you to collect or do it in a way that I do it or whatever. Because even if you look at me and you, we do it in a different way. Yeah. But I just want exactly. So I just wanted to know: is it just the breaks that you love, or have you got certain cards that you want to chase? And be fair. You did say that you don't like buying singles, but if you could get the Bowen card that you spoke about for £1, exaggerated point, would that still do it for you when you get it and go, yeah, that's a tick in the box. I've got that card. I wanted it.
I think what the main point here will always be between a Liverpool fan and a West Ham fan is that we don't. Oh, Yossi, absolute legend. We do not have players that I would not spend money on players. Like Dimitri Payet, while he played for me, I'd have spent money on cards, and I would have kept them because I'd have spent the money when he was our player. And it goes back to Slaven Bilic when he's going to Everton and all of this shit. Like they, as a player, not a manager, but all this tomfoolery that surrounds it. If I could get in my world of loving order 4 different Bowen autos over the course of 4 collections or 4 years, and I could have a frame of Bowen. And I could have a frame of Di Canio and different players that haven't shat on my team, I would. But the most likely way to do that is to buy current players. I do prefer the breaks, and they are the fun part of it. But to top it all off, I'm not going to spend money on players that are no longer there. Declan Rice, what this little boy's named after down here, bona fide Declan Rice lot, is like, I will always love him. But I can't, in all conscience, buy Declan Rice cards unless they were really special. And if they are a couple of £100 each. And Might get that drunk at Christmas. We'll see.
So 2 questions then. That's 2 questions. 2 questions. Number 1, have you already got a bow in auto?
Yeah, from you.
That's the only one. That's special then.
So midway through the debate, obviously technical issues again. But yeah, essentially the beef between Coombe and Dom was squashed. And it was a thoroughly enjoyable debate. But yeah, really great to get them, sit down with them for the night. We had a few jars, and we watched Inter Milan versus Liverpool. Obviously, a massive result for Liverpool, winning 1-0 away. Late penalty. Yeah, obviously, me and Coombe super happy with that result, and it was a great night. Great to get 3 people from the pod that we've done episodes all sort of separately or remotely to each other to then get together and chat it all through. So again, thanks for the patience. We're back. Podcast vendors are back. It's a bit of a slapdash episode, but one that we thoroughly enjoyed, and we hope you enjoyed too. Any feedback would be great. Please like, follow, share. There's plenty of content going out, and there's plenty more from the London visits that are going to go out as well, including the cars I went through at the beginning of this episode. So, lastly, Merry Christmas, one and all. I hope you have a great time. I hope you pick up some cards or some hobby or some memorabilia of some sort. We'd love to hear from you if you want to jump on the pod. But yeah, from me, solo curry, just intro and outro. Love to family and all the best. See you on the next one.